my name is Matthew Quilliam and this is my review of my new DUKE10 Banjolele. Now I received this from Jamie, who runs the DUKE10 company, a few months ago, and I haven't really had time to do a review of it until now. I've been at university, exams and everything, but it's given me a good long while to let me fully get to know this instrument, and I've actually been able to use it surprisingly at a gig during these lockdown times. We had a jazz concert and you can see videos of me playing this in a Dixieland band, link below and hopefully somewhere on the screen as well. Now this instrument comes from New Zealand and it's from the company Duke. This is I believe their second banjolele. It's a sequel to the Duke, which was a slightly smaller, slightly rougher instrument. They've really refined it and taken on board customer advice. Now as you can see, it's quite minimalist in its design, but I think that's to its advantage because there's no fancy decoration that gets in the way. All that is here is all you need. You don't need anything else. You just need your strings, your fretboard and your banjo head and you're good to go. Despite the minimalism though, it's really good quality. The wood is really solid and nice, and I actually quite like the colour as well. The neck is nice and chunky. I really do like a chunky neck. There's a lot to sort of get your hands on. The badge at the top is really nice. It's actually ingrained into the wood there and it's got a really funky shape at the top. I really like that, as opposed to going for the more basic design. It's gone for something unique that stands out. This is a tenor scale banjolele. I typically play vintage banjoleles, which are pretty much soprano concert scale, so it was something new for me to have this tenor scale instrument, but I must say it really does mean it's very nice and playable. Not to say that the others aren't, but a lot of those older instruments are handmade and can sometimes have a few flaws. This has a lot more precision and each fret is perfectly placed for very impressive intonation. So I really cannot fault them on the production side of things. All the parts are really well put together. It's got 8 pegs around the side, so not too much tension. Now, something I really love about this instrument is the fact that you can plug it in. It has an under-the-bridge pickup, and this is the first banjo instrument that I've ever played that has one actually built in, which is really useful, because if anyone who's seen me alive knows, I like to switch between my instruments. And often I've had to mic up the banjolele whilst plugging in everything else, but now I can have everything go in through a jack lead. And this instrument is so useful for allowing me to do that. I really, really do enjoy this, and so I'm going to be playing this a lot. Okay. The head itself is made of plastic. Personally I prefer calfskin, but this does mean that you get a really bold and dashing DUKE10 logo on there, which is really striking and is a change from those sort of Remo, whatever it is, banjo heads that you kind of see just whacked on a load of standard banjoleles. You can really tell a lot of thought has been put into this. If you haven't got the armrest, which is in a really great place, very nice and comfortable. Of course, I have a few faults with it. Nothing's perfect. The strings, I'm not quite sure what they are. They look aquilus to me. I think they're probably ukulele strings. I'm not quite sure, but ukuleles are often very soft and mellow, whereas I like my banjoleles really sharp and harsh. So I'm considering changing the strings on these. That said though, it really does pack a punch. It's really nice and punchy. It's actually got very good sustain, which I really enjoy about it. That's another thing it has over vintage instruments. Another downside to it is it's a little bit rattly. Let me just see if I can... Not quite sure if that's coming across on camera, but when you hit it really hard, the armrest rattles a little bit, which is a bit off-putting, and it is detected when going through the PA system. But nevertheless, it's a really solid instrument, and I really like it. I would definitely recommend getting your hands on one of these. Unfortunately, at the time of recording, they're not making any more because they've had a temporary pause in their production line. However, if they do make any more, or if you see any of these going around as a prize, or if you see any second hand, I definitely would recommend this. I think they retail for around £200–300 in this country, and for a person who wants a good introduction to the banjolele, I can thoroughly recommend this. If you've never played one before, definitely get one of these, and as opposed to one of these sort of Chinese factory line, sort of no real care sort of instruments of companies like Barnes and Mullins and Ozark and things like that. This is definitely a market leader in banjolele design. I really like the positioning of the frets on the side of the fret dots, and it's just very smooth. You're not going to get any splinters on this. It's very, very attractive, I think. It did take me a while to sort of bed it in. As I said at the beginning of this video, it took me a little while to get into it, and if I'd perhaps made this video earlier on, then I would have perhaps just made a direct comparison to all the vintage banjoleles I've played, and in that respect it doesn't actually live up. If you're looking for a really professional grade banjolele, I would still recommend getting something like an Abbott Monarch or a Ludwig or something like that. However, now I've had longer to play with this instrument, I've really begun to warm to it and notice its strengths as an instrument and look at it as its own thing as opposed to something to compare against more premium models. This is definitely something worth considering, and I'm very grateful to those who've organised for me to have this sent to me. This is mine to keep, and it'll be appearing in lots more videos. I'm hoping to do some covers of some musical numbers as well as perform with this. As I said, there's some videos from a recent concert I did of me performing this, so this is going to be definitely a staple of my instrument lineup for quite some time. Thank you very much for watching. Please do consider subscribing so you can catch more reviews and more tuition videos and things all to do with the banjolele and ukulele. And give this video a like and comment below on what your opinions are on the instrument. I'll round off with a quick little ditty and see you next time.